Parshas Beshalach. Why would Hashem put two almost identical verses in the Parsha this week? If we look in chapter 14, verses 22 and 29 are almost identical. The Jews just left Egypt. The Egyptians are running after them because Pharaoh changed his mind. He doesn't really want to let them go. And of course, there's the miracle, the huge nace of the splitting of the sea. And as the Jews are walking through, verse 22 tells us, "Vayavo b'nei Yisrael b'soch hayam vayabasha." And the Jews came in the middle of the water in dry land. Later, in verse 29, we read, "V'halchu vayabasha b'soch hayam." V'halchu b'nei Yisrael, and the Jews went in dry land in the middle of the ocean. So the wording is a little bit different. The first time we're told vayavo, and they came, and the second time v'halchu, and they went. Also, the first time we're told that they're in the ocean in dry land, and the second time we're told they're in dry land in the ocean. Interesting, in the water. So if there are two seemingly identical psukim, verses here, clearly we're meant to learn a little something different from each one, or something that builds on the other. And sure enough, Rav Elimelech of Lizensk comes to tell us that the first pasuk is telling us simply that they went in the middle of the ocean in dry land. In other words, Hashem made it dry in the middle of the Yam, and they went through it. The second verse, and v'halchu, and they went, bayabasha b'toch hayam, in dry land, in the water, is telling us that they suddenly had an awareness that when they were walking on dry land before, and when they would walk on dry land after the splitting of the Yam Suf, whenever they walk on dry land, it's no less awesome than when they were walking through the Yam, when they were crossing the sea. What's that idea? Every morning, we say the bracha, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Blessed is Hashem, who spreads the earth upon the waters. Why is this such a beautiful bracha? So the Radak says it's the idea of recognizing that the oceans don't overtake the land at every moment. That there are actually boundaries around the oceans, and only, God forbid, when there are what we call tragedies, tsunamis, where the water comes onto the land when it's not meant to, in our minds, then do we think about the miraculous nature of the oceans staying where they're supposed to be and the dry land remaining dry. So Rav Elimelech is telling us something beautiful. Not that he needs my approval. He's telling us the appreciation that the Jews suddenly had for every day walking on dry land without the water overtaking it. It's the recognition of the nisim, of the miracles that really abound in every moment, only we don't see them as miraculous because they happen all the time. You know, it's interesting, in the Haggadah on Pesach, we read the words, say ulmad, go out and learn, before the Haggadah starts to tell us about Lavan and how Yaakov lived there in the beginning of the Jewish nation. The words say ulmad mean go out and learn. Don't just sit and learn about where you are, but go out of your regular way of thinking and recognize that Hashem is sending things your way to clear your path in ways that you don't even realize. So this is also part of the beautiful idea here of what the Jews recognized as they were crossing through the Yam Suf. They weren't only in that moment of, wow, 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 look what God is doing for us now. They actually used the inspiration of the moment to recognize that even outside of the miracle of the Yam Suf, there's something awesome about just walking on dry land every day without the oceans overtaking us. So just a little thought for us to appreciate and to think about in our everyday lives, little things that happened. If we go out of our regular way of thinking, then we can feel more blessed than we do in just that moment. Good job.